Now then, let's start with our welcome song. I think today we should sing to the girls first. Hello girls, how are you? How are you? We're so glad you're here today, we're so glad you're here today. Welcome girls, welcome girls. Hello girls. Now then, what about the boys? I hope we've got some boys watching. Hello boys, how are you? How are you? We're so glad you're here today, we're so glad you're here today. Welcome boys, welcome boys. Hello boys. Now what about grown-ups? Have you got some grown-ups with you? Let's sing to the grown-ups. Hello grown-ups, how are you? How are you? We're so glad you're here today, we're so glad you're here today. Welcome grown-ups, welcome grown-ups. Hello grown-ups. Now before we have our story, I wonder whether anyone's had a birthday this week. Ooh, I know someone who's had a birthday this week. Andre has had a birthday this week. Let's light some candles for Andre, shall we? Let's count how old he is. 1, and 2. 2 candles for Andre because he's turned 2 this week. Should we sing happy birthday to him? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Andre, happy birthday to you. Hooray! Now you're going to help me blow out the candles. Big puff. Oh, well done. We blew them out. Now then, we're going to have our story in a minute, and someone very special is going to tell us our story today. If you have been to Noah's Ark, or if you've been to Little Fishes, then you will know this person very well because it's Annette. So let's hear our story from Annette.
Hello everybody, my name's Annette, and if you usually come to Noah's Ark, I'm the lady who sits by the door and ticks off your name in our big book so that we know who's there. But today I'm going to tell you a story. Now I've just been getting something out of my freezer for my tea. Can you see what it is? It's fish, because I love fish. I like fish and chips from the fish and chip shop. I like posh fish from a fancy restaurant, and everything in between. Do you like fish? What's your favourite? Maybe it's fish fingers or fish pie. Whatever it is, I think it's yummy. Now, do you know where fish come from? I don't mean the supermarket when you go shopping with mummy and daddy. I mean, do you know where fish live? Well, if you said in the water, or maybe in the sea, or the lake, or a pond, or a river maybe, then you're right. Fish live in water. And the story that we're going to have today is about some fish swimming around in a place called the Sea of Galilee. If you heard Jenny's story a couple of weeks ago about Easter, when Jesus died and then he came back to life again, well, our story today comes a little while later than that, when Jesus has met up with his friends and they've chatted a little bit. Now I'm going to put this in the fridge ready for my tea, and then I'm going to go and get ready for the story. So while I do that, you find yourself somewhere nice and comfortable to sit, and I'll be back in a moment. So this is where today's story takes place. This is the Sea of Galilee, and this is the shore. It's a beach. Maybe it's a little bit like some of the beaches you might have been to on holiday with Mummy and Daddy. And this is a fishing boat. Inside it is a big net. And what they have to do is throw the net over the side and the fish swim in, and then they can pull the net inside and they've caught all of the fish. So in today's story, we have Peter. There's Peter. And we've got Thomas and Nathaniel. And we've got Zebedee's two boys. And we've got two more of Jesus' friends. And they were all together near the Sea of Galilee, and they were trying to decide what they should do because they weren't really very sure. And Peter decided, I'm going to go out fishing. And he jumped into the fishing boat. And the other friends of Jesus said, that's a good idea, actually. We'll come with you. So they all climbed into the fishing boat. In you go. Oops, careful, Peter. They threw the fishing net over the side. And they set out onto the Sea of Galilee to see what they could catch. Now it was night time, but it wasn't unusual to go fishing at night. And the friends sat in the boat and they waited and they waited and they hoped that lots and lots of fish were swimming into their nets. And after a very long time, they'd waited all through the night and it was very nearly morning. They decided to check their fishing net and see how many fish they'd managed to catch. But when they did, they saw that the fishing net was completely empty. They'd fished all night and they hadn't managed to catch a single fish. I think they must have been very disappointed. Back on the shore, Jesus could see them in their fishing boat. And he called out to them, "Hello, friends." They saw a man on the shore, but they didn't realise it was Jesus. They didn't recognise him. And Jesus called out, "Haven't you caught any fish?" And they said, "No, we've been fishing all night long and we haven't caught a single fish." "Oh dear," said Jesus. "Why don't you throw your net over the other side of your boat and then you will catch some fish?" Now, if that had been me, I would have thought, "Oh, I've been fishing all night long and I haven't caught anything. And I've been fishing before, so I know what I'm doing." But the disciples decided that they'd take the man's advice and they threw their fishing net out onto the other side of the boat. And they waited a little bit longer and they waited. And I think some of them must have thought, there's not going to be any fish in that net, but never mind, we'll try. And after a while, they decided to pull in their net and see if they had caught any fish. And do you know what? their net was full of fish. Can you see them? There are lots and lots and lots in there. They're all different colours. Can you help me decide what colour they all are? We've got, what's that colour? A pink fish. What's that one? Yep, a green fish. That one. Yep, that's a yellow fish. What about that one? Yep, that's a red fish. And we've got, oh, this one doesn't want to come out. An orange fish. And we've got, in our net, a blue fish. Well, Jesus' friends had got a net absolutely full of fish, and they were amazed. And just then, one of the disciples looked across to the man on the beach and he said, "I know who that is. That's Jesus." And the others all looked as well, and they realised that he was right. It was Jesus. And Peter, who could get a bit excited sometimes, was so amazed that he jumped into the water because he wanted to get back to the shore even quicker than the boat could go. And he swam and he splashed and he waded until he got to the beach. And the rest of Jesus' friends came along in the boat, dragging their net full of fish with them. And when they got to the shore, they noticed that Jesus had made a fire. And on the fire, he'd put some fish, and he'd got some delicious fresh bread, and he was cooking the fish ready for breakfast. And he said to his friends, "Bring some of those fish that you've just brought, and we'll cook those as well." And so Peter was very excited again, and he dashed off, and he pulled the great big heavy net full of fish right up to the shore, and he gave Jesus some of the fish out of the net. And even though Jesus was such an important man, such an important person, such a special person, the Son of God, he still cooked breakfast for his friends. He served them up the fish and the bread. And I think as he broke that fish and that bread and shared it amongst his disciples, they might have remembered other times, like the great big picnic where Jesus fed thousands of people, or maybe the last meal they had together where he broke bread and shared it with them. And they had a brilliant breakfast together on the beach of freshly caught fish and freshly baked bread. And that's nearly the end of this story, but there's a little bit more. You've got to wait till next week to hear that though. So for now, we'll leave Jesus and his friends having their picnic breakfast on the beach.
Thank you for that story, Annette. Right, let's do some singing, shall we? I think since we've had a story about fish, we'd better do a song about fish as well, hadn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let him go again. Why did you let him go? Because he bit my finger so. Which finger did he bite? This little finger on my right. Oh, naughty fish. Now then, shall we row the boat? You could row the boat all by yourself if you're feeling strong, or you could get a partner. Ready? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. And if you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah! Row, row, row your boat gently to the shore. And if you see a lion, don't forget to roar. Row, row, row your boat gently down the river. And if you see a polar bear, don't forget to shiver. Ooh. Oh, well done everybody. Now then, that's all that we've got time for this week. Do let me know if you've got a birthday coming up so that we can sing to you on Noah's Ark Story Time. And do come again and see us next week. Bye!